Meet Kisame Hoshigaki, the most honest man in all of Naruto. From his debut to his final moments, every time he performs a water-release jutsu, he uses his actions to show his opponents the true meaning of being earnest. He stands in stark contrast to those characters who simply clap their hands to trigger a jutsu. According to the early settings of Naruto, even a standard water-release water dragon bullet technique requires a staggering 44 hand signs. The sequence is ox, monkey, hare, rat, boar, bird, ox, horse, bird, rat, tiger, dog, tiger, snake, ox, ram, snake, boar, ram, rat, yang water, monkey, bird, dragon, bird, ox, horse, ram, tiger, snake, rat, monkey, hare, boar, dragon, ram, rat, ox, monkey, bird, yang water, rat, boar, bird. It almost makes you wonder if he's just trying to stall for time, but it's definitely not that. Performing a ninjutsu really is meant to be that complex. In the later stages, when hand signs were simplified, most shinobi could unleash a jutsu just by shouting its name. Only Kisame remained old school, weaving signs diligently. So, besides his earnest hand signs, in what other ways did Kisame prove he was an honest man? First of all, Kisame's introductions were very sincere. "My name is Kisame Hoshigaki. Pleased to make your acquaintance." Ever since his first appearance, when he introduced himself to Kurenai and Asuma, he repeated this greeting to every new opponent he encountered. Unless it was an old acquaintance, he never resorted to sneak attacks. For a rogue ninja to be so upfront makes him a rare breed within the Akatsuki. Kisame didn't just enjoy introducing himself. Once he was finished, he would also listen intently while his opponent introduced themselves. Fighting him felt less like an assassination and more like a sanctioned duel. Among all his opponents, his favorite was Kakashi. This was because Kakashi, merely upon hearing his name, immediately and accurately recited all of Kisame's intel right to his face. The legendary copy ninja actually knew so much about him. Kisame found that quite flattering. The person he hated most was Might Guy. They clashed 3 times, and each time he earnestly reminded Guy who he was, but Guy would persistently pretend he couldn't remember his name. Even in the heat of battle, Kisame was very polite. He would provide a commentary while fighting. For example, when fighting Asuma, after wounding him with a swing of Samehada, he immediately explained that his greatsword, Samehada, is meant for shredding, not for clean cutting. He was essentially warning Asuma to be careful. A Samehada shaves away the opponent's chakra. It was the same when he fought Sugetsu. Sugetsu intended to use his hydrification jutsu to ignore physical damage and engage him, only to discover with horror that he had lost a massive amount of chakra. Kisame stepped in with another explanation. My Samehada devours chakra. During his battle with Killer Bee, after finishing his own introduction, Kisame didn't forget to introduce Samehada as well. Every time he pushed Killer Bee into a corner, he would explain to Bee exactly how he was absorbing his chakra and why he was known as the Tailless Tailed Beast. It was as if he was afraid Bee would die without knowing. This is the honest Kisame, a villain with no villainous awareness. He refused to exploit information gaps. Instead, he took the initiative to hand over his own ability intel to the enemy. When fighting him, you never had to worry about underhanded tricks or sneak attacks. It was just pure head-on combat. Guy probably loved an opponent like this. In the end, Guy gave his word that he would remember the name Kisame for the rest of his life.